Still kind of hovering,
Diamond Jim.
but they seem very good. I mean, I know my days of doing that, I had done that, it's like, it's just not working.
No, it's not.
Okay.
When you get it like that.
No, and it's, God, it's.
I don't hold every year.
Chief,
Right.
I talked to the woman that was complaining about the cars park, like I told her about. And I said I talked to you about it, you know. and
Yeah.
She had a nice.
No, it's-
Wait, wait.
Yeah, they did it different.
They've done it, yeah.
So,
But
First time.
I said,
It was only because I had those
she said,
nasty-
especially night they park next to the road.
Yeah.
Get pictures.
They weren't able to handle it.
We've got 7:30, we've got the meeting to call to order. What allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Roll call, please. Mr. Battler. Here. Ms. Thomas.
Here.
Mr. Hardy. Here. Mr. Bryan.
Here.
Mr. Thorne.
Here.
Ms. Bug.
Here.
Nope, you have a quorum, Mr. President. Okay, we've got 6 trustees present, quorum, we've got a meeting. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of June 3rd, 2024. A motion
So moved.
Second.
moved by Thorne, seconded by Paul, to approve the minutes of June 3rd, 2024. Are there any corrections to the minutes? There being none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion so carries. Thank you all. The next item on our agenda is a civility pledge. Pass that down to Ms. Bell, please.
I have it right here. Oh.
We're on the same page,
Good God.
literally.
In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility in listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each have different ideas different ideas for achieving that objective.
Okay, thank you, Courtney.
Thanks.
Next item is the president's report. I've got a couple of items. One of the things first off, though, is the appointment of the administrative adjudication hearing officer. After getting this thing up and running, we do need to have a hearing officer to conduct the hearings. And in review of it, the situation, it looks like Ms. Wong, Jennifer Wong, who currently serves as our hearing officer for the police department vehicular section, is also certified to do the administrative adjudication. She's familiar with our department, our officers, our village, and our procedures. So I would like to appoint Ms. Wong as our administrative adjudication officer.
Second.
Moved by Harney, seconded by Thomas. The salary will be based upon the hearings and the.
I met with her on Friday and we talked, basically, she's gonna leave the current pay structure in place. Which she's currently getting paid to do our impound hearings. And then we'll see if the volume dictates a change in the future, but I don't see any major budgetary impact either way. So.
All right. No further comments, questions, or discussion? Roll call, please. Ms. Bo.
Aye.
Mr. Dudley.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Guard.
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
Aye.
Motion so passes. Thank you one and all. Appreciate it. Okay, the next is just a couple of items of information. First off, I've accepted with regrets the resignation of Malcolm Morris from the Finance Committee. He submitted his resignation at the end of last week. Appreciate his service. Well, it was a brief tenure. Appreciate his injections and prudence, I believe is what he brought to the Finance Committee, his prudence. The other item is a couple of rejections. If you recall earlier, we had mentioned going to CMAP, the Chicago Metropolitan Area for Planning, with a couple of requests for assistance. One being in infrastructural design and upkeep, and the other was for some help with the bike path along Donkowski in cooperation with the Dundee Township Park District and the Village of West Dundee. CMAP has rejected both applications. They had an abundance of applications this year, and we just didn't make the cut on either one of them, so. We're gonna have to do those on our own at this time, without the help of CMAP. The other item that I've got to report on this evening is the IMRF pension that we talked about earlier this winter. That we have gotten the information from IMRF. Eugene has responded to them with the actuarial numbers that they requested. Their estimate on the actuarial came in much better than we budgeted 3,000 for the actuarial, and it's a 12,100 and change.
Yeah, that was part of the payables this pay. So I'll send them the paperwork on Wednesday.
So that is moving forward. Okay, and that's it for the president's report, clerk's report. I have no report tonight, President. Thank you, Tony. Planning and zoning, we have no report this evening. Attorney, we have no report. Engineer provides no report. We're down to the finance. Mr. Van.
Request a motion for the approval of the account payables in the amount of $144,982.96.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah.
Moved by Thorne, seconded by Diatley to approve the warrants of June 17, 2024 in the amount of $144,982.96. Any additions, deletions, comments, or questions? Oh, that's right. Kyle isn't here tonight. I had a question for him. What is a 54-inch pond pliers? I didn't know we needed pliers for the pond. Evidently we do.
Must have been loose.
It
Yeah.
might, maybe it's to get some of the, bricks or whatever out of
I
the
have
pad
no
that are
idea
being-
what it
Oh,
just
it's in
says
there.
54-inch pond pliers.
instead of going in waders.
I just was really curious. I'll have to remember tomorrow and ask Kyle what that is. Okay, no other comments or questions. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Ms. Bo.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
I,
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Ms. Dryer.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
6 affirmative votes, no negative votes in the motion, so carried.
Can I, so I just looked it up, pond pliers are little grippers,
It's a
so it helps you
pickup tool.
grab things, kind of like what we use for picking up trash on the lawn,
Yeah.
but maybe a.
Obviously, you need a metallic fishing net.
Thanks for jumping right on
Hey,
that.
I was, I like to follow up on things. Very curious.
Yep. We may never have known.
All right, thank you, Courtney, on finding that out for me. Okay,
Light scripts, that's right.
anything else, Eugene?
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Eugene. Next item is comments from the public. First one is Mr. Florence. John.
You managed to come in early. So, a few of us in the club have been reviewing a whole lot of different projects, and I would characterize a lot of this as, activities outside of 4th of July, which, as you can imagine, 4th of July is our focus right now. So, I thought it would be good to start a tradition where maybe once a year we come and kind of restate what the club does and who we are and what we can and can't do. So I was gonna run over that real quick, and then I have a couple of 4th of July updates. And Rich will remind me if I miss anything. So the most important thing is, the club is a chartered organization. We're incorporated with the state of Illinois. So our bylaws or our contract with the state to exist as a not-for-profit. In addition, we're also a 501c3 by the federal government, although we are not we're not tax-free. So we do pay sales tax, but donations to us can be claimed if you're one of those 6 people in the country who can actually itemize on your taxes. I can't. So the mission of the club, the purpose of the Sleepy Hollow Service Club
shall be to lessen the burden of local government by sponsoring, operating, and funding activities and service projects for the benefit of all citizens of Sleepy Hollow and the surrounding communities, especially children. So I promise that's all I'm reading off this. So what's important about that is, our mission as a service club, and not sure of this, but I remember service clubs being big in the '60s, early '60s and '70s. It's really supplement the municipal government to help some aspect of the village. It doesn't mean we don't do road cleanup stuff, do, project and improvement projects around the village, but really those events that we put on, that's our main focus. And that's what our charter says we have to do. And we have financial obligations that we have to meet from a fiduciary perspective to maintain those, along with some other conditions about who can be in the club and who can't. So I have a whole section of who can be a club member, but basically anyone can be a club member who lives within the village. That includes trustees. Trustees, however, cannot be officers of the club. That's a limitation. And people who live outside of Sleepy Hollow proper can be members, but they're associate members. And the only thing that prevents them from doing is being officers. And the officers of the club are really defined as the two presidents, two co-presidents, the secretary, and the treasurer. Everyone else is a committee chair, and committee chairs have no restrictions about them. So, some of the trustees in here have been coming to the meetings and helping out, which is fine, but unfortunately, you can't be the president. It's kind of a blessing. And then I wanted to know who those people were. So Hans Ming and Scott Swanson are the co-presidents. Myself and Maria Navarez, I always butcher her name, we're the co-vice presidents. Darren Knapp is the secretary, Bill Grupp is the treasurer, Joe Manelia is civic, membership is Bill Heisenhofer. Youth is open, some of the trustees here have been helping with youth, which is just planning events. Media is Greg Eman, and corporate sponsorship is also Darren Knapp. So, a couple other things. On expenditures, we are only allowed to vote for expenditures in a meeting that are under $500 and go directly to one of our 4 main events. They're over $500 and they don't pertain to those 4 main events. We have to propose them on a meeting and then follow up and vote, just like you guys do. So that's something important because, a lot of people go, hey, can you write a check for this? And I can't, Rich can't. It's kind of our financial controls on the organization. In addition, all the information about the club is on the village website, including the contact information, email, phone numbers, and our address. Email is the easiest way to get hold of us. We do have a voicemail box that gets delivered to us automatically, but it's generally better to just send an email. Info at it's shsc-il.org is our email address. And for the 4th of July, the biggest thing to note is, we have a new fireworks vendor this year. And they are supposed to be the best in the area. They've really started taking over this part of Illinois, kind of from Lake Geneva down, really like towards Bloomingdale. They've just sort of carved out a corridor of different contractors, but under this one umbrella. And the group is out of Michigan, but from everything we've seen, they do a great show. So that show's on July 5th. The day festivities are on July 4th. Also to note, we got the raffle tickets out late. I'll put that on me, but it's really tough to get these things put together now with the way the post office has been and everyone's time and all that. So they may not show up on time for the 4th. Last year, was it last year? Last year we did the raffle late. We're gonna try not to do that this year. And our preference is that people just go online and purchase raffle tickets. There'll be a link in the newsletter when that shows up. There's links on Facebook, on the village website. There's support the community. Will lead you to that where you can purchase raffle tickets, and you can purchase either with a check, credit card, or through PayPal. Now, we'll take it however, you can get it to us. So, we'll start blasting that out probably tonight. But I have that here if anyone wants it. I have it on my phone, so I can take money anywhere. And then last part is I want to thank Eugene for helping us kind of streamline the liquor license part. That's always seems to be a last minute endeavor. Insurance company got it to us as fast as I've ever seen, and it was completely wrong, so we had to start over again. But whatever can happen to speed that along a little more, it's important to have beer. So that's it. And we'll be around, Rich and I'll be around later if you have any questions.
Is this what you want, son?
Yes.
John, why
Let's
don't
take a
you-
look at it. Okay, thank you, John. Edie Reese.
Last week I had a visitor, with a letter that is proposing to be a co-developer of the storage facility. Everybody on the board should have that letter. There were some comments made about, it needs to change the layout in order to be profitable, which means that they would want to, take more trees down and add more storage units, because right now, the way that it was proposed to the board, it is not profitable. I will not support that, so I've been very verbal about that. I think that's not my problem, that they weren't able to make it profitable. Go somewhere else that their land is available. I was told, well, other things can go in there, and frankly, at this point, put something else in there. I don't care. Because right now, 72 is not a profitable spot for any business. I have been around seeing restaurants come and go. I've seen strip malls be completely empty and then get more tenants and then they go completely empty. That's what happened where the U-Haul is right now in West Dundee. There used to be a Michael's there. I don't know if anybody remembers that. There used to be a restaurant in there, all this stuff, and little by little storage units took over. I don't see why we need to add more storage units 2 miles down the street, not even 2 miles. But one of the things that really bothered me was I don't think this proposed co-developer was given everything about Sleepy Hollow. I think he's being brought in under advice that Conrad doesn't want to do it anymore. So I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. I think he tried and I appreciate the communication. However, if he was trying to come to Laurel Court to have our support, none of us are having the support that he needs. We're just not gonna do it. I spoke to a couple of neighbors. One neighbor was just as upset. He was thinking of even selling to get out of here, which really saddens me because he really likes living here. So there's things that I feel the village board needs to understand. When I moved here, I got 4 pages of rules and regulations and I laughed and I thought, wow, I just moved into a really strict village. But at the same time, I appreciate the rules that are put in place because I think you have to have some control. However, I feel that anybody that's wanted to come in here commercial wise, you guys have bent over and said, yes, yes, yes. But no one's looking at the future on this. What happens when nobody rents a unit and it stays empty? What happens when he tries to sell it and nobody wants to buy it? What happens if he just walks away because he files bankruptcy? No one's thinking of what's going to happen at the end. I know the mall behind me, they still have some openings and business storefronts. They're still showing that they're leasing. There's a plot of land in there that Steak and Shake bought and was not developing because they realized that was a dumb move on their part. I just feel like the homework needed to be done, and I feel like we're paying the price of not doing the work that you guys should be doing, and it's protecting Sleepy Hollow. That's what I pay my taxes for. That's why I came here. I saw in this community. I fell in love with it. It's been here 24 years. I don't want to leave because something is gonna come next to me and ruin everything that I bought the house for. I don't think that's right. I think that's kind of being just terrible. I don't think Conrad's been a good neighbor since the beginning. I don't think he has thought about what he has said. I think he just kept saying yes, 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 but didn't understand. You have to show me what you're doing. And when I hear, oh, we're not gonna make any money, we have to make it bigger. Well, that's not my problem. Go somewhere else. I was told he's got a facility that he just finished in Wakanda that is by residential. So I went online and I looked. No, it's not. It is not 10 feet from a property line like this one's proposing. So I feel like I just keep hearing stories and it's just disappointing. And I truly hope that if this does come back to the board again, that you really, really think long and hard about what is this really bringing to the community? Because a couple $100, I don't think it's worth it. I mean, if we're not paying a water bill for Sleepy Hollow Pool, there, we got the money we need. So, thank you for your time.
Thanks. Thank you, Ms. Reese. Ann Delargio.
Just wanted to thank everybody who signed up. Yesterday on Father's Day, I dragged a couple neighbors out and we did some cleanup on Lake Sharon again. Landscaping, trying to move some of the rocks from the vandalism that happened. We got round 2 of it next Sunday and got about 15 people who said they're gonna come out and help get us farther down and take on another area of the community. So thank you to everybody who signed up. And thank you to Kyle for cleaning up the mess so quickly this morning. And he's signed up for next Monday as well. That's it.
Thank you, man. Okay, trustee report, roads and parks, Mr. Harding.
One quick item on probably the hottest, most humid day so far. We got our first road salt delivery. And one more delivery to go, and we will have plenty of road salt for the upcoming winter. That's all I have to report.
All right. Sorry to hear that, those are on a low sodium diet. Okay, thank you, Ed. Finance, Mr. Thorne.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mark. Water and sewer, Ms. Bo.
I was gonna follow up with Kyle and Jeff. We have one of my neighbors has a sinkhole in their backyard. That we're just trying to figure out what the source was from years ago, and it leads down into the ravine, and now it's kind of cracked underneath and we can see a little trickle of water. So we're looking into that. And it may have had something to do with some work by ComEd many years ago. And so I'm trying to help navigate where the responsibilities are and who we need to contact for it. Also, and please, by all means, I'm not being an alarmist on this. I'm still following up with it with Elgin. But some of you may notice signs out there for Free the Fox River and the dams that are being discussed. The Army Corps of Engineers has discussed the state of the Fox River and has recommended that in order to repair certain impairments, they want to remove about 9 dams in Illinois. I've been doing volunteer work with Friends of the Fox for a couple of years now, so I've been learning about the chemistry and the biology of it. I went to an informational session last week and it was the mayor of Elgin, Dave Captain, and then Mike Pubens, who is the director of public works there, as well as Gary Swick from Friends of the Fox and Art Null from Fox River Study Group. Long and short of it is the Elgin Dam is one of the dams that that Army Corps is recommending to take down. There's a number of people who oppose it. There's people who support it. But one of the issues that they're now assessing is the water intake is north of the dam and it's on the west side of the river. If there's adjustments to the river, it does have the potential to go below the water intake valve level. They have about 3 days of kind of backup of reserve. About 80% of City of Elgin's water comes from the Fox River and we get our water from City of Elgin. So I'm following up on it. But the long and short of it was I felt very confident with Mike Pubens when he was talking. He really explained the issues with the west side of the river, and they're looking at potentially doing another intake on the east side of the river. Another engineer came up with an idea right there at the meeting. He's like, hey, let's talk about that as a possibility. So they're looking for ideas. He's not overly concerned. In fact, he said at the end, he said, if it comes down to it, in my opinion, I don't think our water intake is at risk. But they want to get a few options in there. And so I've just been attending all the meetings and following up on that. And that's, yeah, but please don't be alarmed. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'd be happy to answer as much as I can or get some of the more professionals to answer some questions. So, thank you.
Definitely something we've got,
Yeah.
staking.
And actually, I'm sorry, one thing that they did bring up on it is considering some of the dam removals. I hadn't really considered that Sleepy Hollow residents would be impacted by the dam since we're not directly on the Fox. But one thing I'd like everybody to consider is all of our water runoff goes into Jelke Creek, which is a tributary to the Fox River. So anything that we're putting onto our storm drains, onto our lawns, onto our streets, we have to work extra hard just to filter it out so we can then drink it again. And if Elgin is affected by this, if the dam is removed now, the Army Corps of Engineers, so federal, and the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, state, will cover 100% of the dam removal, as well as, I think, some of the follow-up to it. There may be other expenses. If Elgin opts not to take the federal and state funding, the responsibility of the dam maintenance and any liability will fall on Elgin, both of which could have impacts on the price of water. So that's something else I'll be just monitoring and keeping track of. And on that happy note, sorry about that.
Water wasn't expensive.
I know,
But you will find that
I'm
some
sorry,
people are concerned about the price of gasoline.
Yeah.
And they're not paying any attention to the water.
water, yeah, and our aquifer,
Water
I've
is
learned quite a bit
up,
lately.
up.
Yeah. Work on conservation and teach your neighbors, please.
But don't be alarmed.
Oh, well,
No, thank you.
makes good little choices as you go, and I'll work on it from my end.
Besides Jelke feeding the fox, Pine Cone.
Yeah.
And Sleepy Creek.
Yeah.
feeds the fox too.
Yeah.
so See if we want that too.
Where's Sleepy Creek? Can I just
Sleepy
ask?
Creek comes down across from, Lake Sabatino. Around the corner of the park.
Oh,
and then
by Bullfrog there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Sleepy Creek, and that
And
comes
that's-
out by the post office. And then goes on over to
And
the,
that's ours too, right?
that's ours too. Plus anything in the swales.
Right.
It comes down along to this point, so. Okay, anything else, Ms. Bob?
No, thank you.
That's it. All right, thank you, Courtney. Police and Public Safety, Mr. Diatley.
No report tonight.
Thank you, Steve. Building and Environment, Ms. McGuire.
No report.
Thank you, Jenny. Building and Zoning, Ms. Thomas.
No report, but I would like to comment, Edie, thank you for bringing this. I did talk to Mr. James myself, and he informed me some of the information he's been getting from Mr. Ryback. It's not what has been agreed upon by us, so he and I will be in contact more, and I'll be bringing that information to the board. So it's not going unnoticed. Thank you.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Old business, any old business to come before the board? No old business this evening, new business. New business this evening, the Kane County Forest Preserve Foundation has requested a contribution from the village of Sleepy Hollow. Kane County Foundation is a group that is established to support the mission of the Kane County Forest Preserve, help them with obtaining funds for various events, such as purchasing plants and studies and that type of nature. And considering that Kane County is one of our neighbors and they've asked us, we had a good year with the with the interest on our savings. I don't see any problem with giving them $300 for a pole. I'm not sure I want to go $5,000 and be a sponsor. But what does the board think about contributing $300 to the Kane County Forest Preserve Foundation for their golf outing in September?
We can support that.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that.
Okay, we have a motion to settle. Let's settle on the whole for 300.
I moved to spend $300 to sponsor a hole.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's not full. It's gotta be an empty hole.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded to authorize $300 to the Kane County Forest Preserve Foundation for their golfing event. Any further comments, questions, or discussion? There being none, roll call please.
Mr. Natalie.
Aye.
Ms. Thomas.
I,
Mr. Harney.
Aye.
Ms. McGuire.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Hi.
Ms. Bo.
Aye.
All right, that's 6 affirmative votes. We thank you all, and the Kane County Forest Preserve Foundation, we thank you also. Okay, any other new business to come before the board?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Those opposed? 7:59. Now we're getting the idea.
Well,
All had a snappy